Well, I hadn't seen you guys in a while, but a lot of things have taken place. Obviously, we got a lot of new faces on our basketball team, and I think today you got the schedule. We finally finalized the schedule, and it's a pretty challenging schedule. We got some two Big Ten teams. Well, we got ACC team coming here, Indiana's coming here. You got Georgia Tech. You got to go to Tech. Western Kentucky, which won 26 games last year. Very good team. UC Davis. And I always caution people, don't look at team's name and just think they're not a really good basketball team, coached by Jim Less, a young man I have known for many, many years. They're defending conference champions in their league. And then, of course, again, Western Kentucky is a very good basketball team, and you look at some of the other teams, they're very much improving. So it's going to be a challenging schedule, especially for a young basketball team with so many newcomers on our team, and we had everybody here this summer. So obviously we had a chance to get an idea of what we're working with, and there's a lot of work to be done. But it excites me because the newness, the freshness, hopefully getting these guys and creating the type of players we think that fit what we're doing. We got a chance to be an athletic team, and you can start it by building around a guy like Daniel. Obviously, having him come back here, and the thing I've been impressed with him, how hard he's been working and trying to be a leader. He and Adriel Bailey, as well as Jalen Harris, a young man that set out last year, and that was done on purpose to have a guy that got a little seasoning against Barford and Macon and against Anton Beard, and now he has a chance to step in. So, again, when you look at our schedule, going into our league play, we had 8 teams in the NCAA last year, and a lot of those teams returned a lot of players. So it's going to be a very challenging but exciting schedule, for our fans to get a chance to see us play and watch this team grow. I think that's going to be the biggest key. They're going to have to grow and have to grow up in a hurry.
Mike, Georgia Tech was a team we hadn't heard about. How did that game come about? I assume is that going to be a 2-game series, 4-game series? What?
Yes, it's going to be home and home. We'll play them here, and then we'll play them there next year. So it's a good game for our schedule, and we've got to be battle tested before we go into the SEC play. So it's a team that they were in need of a game, we're in need of a game, and I thought this would be a good series.
I know, last year you had a kind of a battle-tested veteran team for the most part, and you played a really tough schedule. It's a pretty tough schedule, too. I don't know if it was tough as last year, but it's pretty tough. How do you think a young team will handle this?
Well, that's going to be the challenge. As I said, we've got to expedite some things. The learning process, it's with a young team, obviously there's going to be some peaks and valleys, but at the end of the day, I think we just got to get these guys between. One thing I like about this team already, Bob, they compete. They're competing against each other in our individual workouts, and we do some team workouts. They're really, really competing. And so that's a good thing to have. And now, obviously, we got to get them in shape. And conditioning will start next week, right after Labor Day. So they got up until that time, and then we'll really jump into the conditioning portion of what we're going to do. And then we'll start practicing in October. And so, but we've got to get these guys to get all on the same page. They all come from individual high schools and what have you, whether it be junior college, in Mason Jones' case. So we've got to get these guys to be on the same page and learn to play defensively, offensively, learn the verbiage in terms of calling defenses, learning how to play defense. A lot of high school guys, they do everything on their team. So, but it is a challenging schedule. But I always say that's how you get your team prepared, get them ready for what's going to take place in the SEC. You're going to have at least 6 to 8 teams that are probably going to be ranked in the SEC. When you look at our league, it's going to be really good. You got Kentucky. They'll be one of those teams that are ranked right out the gates. Mississippi State returns a lot of people. Florida's going to be good again. You go on and on. I mean, our league is going to be really, really good, and so we got to be battle tested and be ready to hopefully take care of the home floor and go on the road and win some games.
A lot of times you can kind of ease into the season. You can't do that this year. You got Texas. What's your thoughts on starting the Longhorns?
Well, that's again, you say Texas and Arkansas, you say the mouthful. and I didn't leave them off. But we're honored to play in that game. You know, it's a game we'll play in El Paso. We know home for Coach Richardson, but it'll be on Fort Bliss's on the base there, and it'll be in front of all the armed services there and their families, and so. And they got a chance to be a really good basketball team. They lost the Mo Bamba kid, but they got all those guards back. And we played this team when they were freshmen. I think some of those guys were freshmen. I think it was 2 years ago. We played them in Houston. So now we play them again. And that's a big challenge right off the bat. And that's why I said we've got to expedite some things in terms of getting guys really ready to play, understanding the level they got to play at. You know, it's one thing to go against each other. Especially during the summer, even during the fall. But when you start going against, you know, teams that wear the opposite uniform, then you got to take your game up to another level, and that's where we got to get these guys to take it up to another level, all together on the same page.
Anything on Khalil Garland, his status?
No, nothing on Khalil at this point in time. We're still in that, you know, where he's doing some limited workouts for the most part, and hopefully we'll have a clear picture in a month or so. I think in a month or so we'll have a much clearer picture.
Like the Indiana game, Indiana's coming here. They've got pretty heralded class coming in. What excites you?
Well, they're a big team. I don't think Indiana's never been in this building. My historian, Bob, is that true?
They've never been in Fayetteville.
Okay, Bob does that.
Maybe
Okay.
they came with the Hermans or something.
Okay, Bob's the historian on all that stuff, but very good basketball team. I mean, they're probably going to be a top 20, 25 team. I really feel, and Archie Miller going in there, and he's got his guys in there, and they got some seasonal players that'll play well, but they got a great recruiting class coming in. So it's a game that we'll play them here, and then next year we'll play up there at their place. So it just continues what we talk about in terms of, you know, our schedule. We want our schedule to reflect the type of team we're going to be, and hopefully it prepares us for conference play.
Do you have a previous relationship with Archie and his schedule on and on with Dayton, I believe, when he was there?
Well, it just worked out. We had some common dates that we could play, and his team was really good there at Dayton. He runs a good program, so I think it just the common dates just kind of happen to take place at the same time.
Do you approach the preseason any different with such few experienced guys on your roster?
Well, I got to get them some experience, and the only way you can get experience through playing. So, but as I like the schedule, like I say, it's going to be a challenge. It's going to challenge our guys in a lot of areas. But you know, I think, you know, there'll be some adversity, but you know, adversity should make you stronger and hopefully be on the same page. So again, the thing that hopefully can help us is having a guy like a Daniel, Adriel Bailey, and you look at Gabe Usaboy, a guy who played some meaningful minutes for us last year. I mean, I think those guys are going to have to come to the forefront, but somebody within that young group, they're going to really have to emerge, and so far so good. I think these guys are doing the things we asked them to do, and hadn't put a whole lot on them yet, but it's coming.
Mike, you mentioned conditioning. I heard Adam Petway took a job with the 76ers. Is he already left, and if so, who's running your conditioning?
Yes, he is. One of his assistants is running it. Young man is running it right now, and we're in the process of bringing in some people, trying to get us a strength and conditioning coach in. That's going to be important to us too.
Yeah, what are you looking for out of the new strength coach?
Well, somebody, you know, in the same vein as Adam was. I think Adam was one of those guys. He was kind of he kind of thought sometimes out of the box in terms of getting guys motivated to do what they need to do in the weight room. And obviously, I'm big on explosiveness. I'm big on agility. You want that agility, the explosiveness, and you want some strength to go with it. And so I want somebody that hopefully can get our guys prepared to what we're going to do out there on the floor. And it translates. You know, sometimes you can go in the weight room and you can do all the lifting and all the different things, but it don't translate on the floor. Well, I want it to translate on the floor in terms of what we're doing and how we're playing, and so someone can pick up on that. And we got some pretty good some pretty good possibilities in that department. But I thought Adam did a great job. You know, most times to me, you know, when you talk about a guy in that position, they do a lot of preventative stuff. I mean, when you think about, you know, knock on wood, knock on some wood, you know, you don't want injuries, and so you do a lot of preventative stuff. The stretching part of it, you know. Some of these guys come and they never stretched in their life before, and they never lifted weights in their life before. The beauty of it is, you know, Adam had these guys up here this summer, so he had a chance to get them a base. So it's important for us to get somebody in there to come in and grab what he did and just take it up on beyond.
Rick Stansbury, obviously familiar with him, he's bringing Western Kentucky in. What do you think about that?
We're a very good basketball team. I mean, it's a game we're going to be playing them here, and then the next year we'll go down there. But it's his team was, I think they finished like in the Final Four of the NIT. They won 26 or 27 games, and so they were like within probably a game from going to the NCAA tournament. And he returned a lot of those guys coming back, and he signed a kid that I think was probably McDonald's All-American or one of the top forwards in the country. So Rick's going to get some players in there. So it's a good basketball team.
I think you got 5 Saturday. You got open on the road in the conference, but you get 5 Saturday home games, second year in a row. How big is that?
I think it's great for our fans, and I'm glad the SEC recognizes that. And our fans they come out in droves. We have some great crowds, and I think our fans will come out and really support this team here. You know, there's a lot of that's kind of a lot of question marks, a lot of unknowns. But to me, there's exciting unknowns when you think about the players we have coming in: Reggie Chaney, Jordan Phillips, Mason Jones. I mean, there's a lot of, but these kids come with a lot. Keyshawn Embry, a young man that attended IMG Academy. So we got some players I think can come in and can. I think they excite our fans. But of course, you got to start it with a guy like Daniel. You know, Daniel is that guy. So, but having those games on the weekend, it allows our fans who show up and they show out, they continue to make Bud Walton Arena what it is.
How's Isaiah Joe adjusting to the college game so far?
So far, so good. I mean, Isaiah, obviously, the strength is going to be a big factor in what takes place with him. But I've seen some wiry, strong guys. I remember Lee Mayberry coming in here, probably about 150 pounds. I remember Scotty Thurman not coming about 170 as well. T.J. Cleveland coming 145. I mean, so sometimes it's wiry strong, but he's going to be a really good ball player. I think he has a great feel for the game. He's very coachable, works extremely hard, and obviously he can shoot the basketball, but he can do more than that. Defensively, I think he's going to be a guy that's going to help us defensively. Dez Seals, I think Dez is one of those guys that has a big-time motor. And he's putting it on display, doing a lot of different things, in terms of with our basketball team. And obviously this is early on, but I think when you think about, the potential, and that's a dangerous word sometimes, but I just think potential, if these guys continue to go at the pace they're going, continue to grasp concepts, continue to listen to coaching, I think people are gonna really like this basketball team.
And Mike, Arkansas announced yesterday baseball games against UALR and UAPB, and Hunter said in a statement they would look at exploring options in other sports. Obviously, basketball would be one of those. How would you feel about playing those schools if that came to be?
Well, I think it's one of those things that it came down from from Hunter, and you talk about schools in our system, and Arkansas Little Rock is one of those guys in our system. Right now our schedule is, for the most part, is done, and we kind of do it in advance. But it opens up the possibility for in the future. We haven't talked about it, but it's something that's possibly good.
Is that something you'd be okay with?
Oh, I think it's something that's taking place, and so yes.